And no, this is probably the biggest Sephora bag I've ever gotten, and it's like the size of my head. Anyways, trying out a bunch of new stuff I've never used before. This Murad Age Reform Primer. These Maybelline primers, one is just supposed to like blur and smooth, and the other one is really just SPF in it. Murad one wasn't that great. I feel like it didn't really blur that much. It was lightweight. What else was there? I had to use it a lot to cover my whole face. I'm probably only going to use it for the SPF. It has a nice smell. The Maybelline blurring one didn't blur at all. It was lightweight. Probably not going to use it again. Maybelline SPF. Just going to use it for the SPF. Wasn't heavy, no smell, none of that. Doesn't blur or anything. I solely got it for SPF. Just want to see if it really did do any of it. Now this foundation is the best foundation I've probably ever tried ever. It's medium to full coverage. I put 2 layers on and you'll see, and it builds up really well. It doesn't have a smell. It feels really lightweight, and it's pretty dewy and shiny before I set it with powder. But then once I set it, it was really matte, and I stayed matte more than I do when I wear an actual matte foundation. And I didn't have like any creasing at all, even in the parts where I crease normally, like my smile lines. And I wore it for 10 hours, and it has more SPF in it, so I mean, it's probably, like I said, the best foundation I've ever used in the, a lot I've tried. Right now I'm putting on the second layer, and I used a sponge from Wish to blend it out. The shade range could be meh, like I felt like this is a bit too dark for me, but I mean, it probably just matches me perfectly. I just like to be light. But it built up really well and like layered well and didn't get all patchy and weird. But you can see how shiny it is on my face. And then this Maybelline Superstay Concealer, it had good coverage and blended nicely, but the applicator and tube was weird. Like the doe foot wouldn't get any product on it unless I like squeezed the tube around it and made it get on it, or like squeezed the product up in the tube and then got it on the doe foot. I don't know. It's not my favorite, but I mean, I'll keep using it, and the formula is good. And I put it on my chin, jawline-ish bone area, under my eyes, forehead, nose, and cupid's bow, blending it out with the same sponge. And then once I blended it all out, I kind of went over some areas that I wanted to add more coverage to seafood. Layer up okay, and it did, and added more coverage to those parts. Try and cover my little mole. I just like seeing how covered I can get it sometimes. I really don't care if it shows or not. And then I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder. And I mean, it was okay for a loose powder. It did everything it was supposed to do. Didn't feel cakey. It set my face well. It didn't make my foundation a different color. It's just, it doesn't come with a lot of product for the price, so I feel like it's kind of expensive for drugstore-ish, I guess. And like it wouldn't really last me that long. I'm still using it now, but I've only done my makeup maybe 2-3 times since I've done this video. So I'll use it again if it's like all I can get, or like just until I run out. But so far my favorite is probably still Airspun. So just because the Airspun you get so much for like $6, you get like double the amount you get in the Maybelline ones and almost any other kind. So it's just like a really good deal for me, and it sets my face good. So I just kind of set my whole face like I normally do, and I'm just adding extra powder under my eyes or almost all over my face. You'll see for baking to see if it was okay with that. And I've just been kind of getting back into baking recently since it's been so hot and icky here in Arizona. taking a sip of some tea, Arizona tea that I can't find in Arizona. And then I'm using this L'Oreal brow pencil in soft black and doing my eyebrows. And I feel like the tip of this pencil could be smaller, but I mean, I can still do my brows with it. It's not so thick that it just makes like a giant thick line like those crayon thingies that were popular for a minute. It had a lot of pigment, more than the one I normally use by NYX, like a lot more. And it didn't feel too waxy, but I also have like no brow hairs, so it wouldn't matter even if it was. But like, you know how when you use eyebrow stuff you can kind of feel your eyebrows sometimes? Yeah, I didn't feel that with this one. And the soft black color was like actually soft black, not just a really dark brown that's supposed to look black, and then when you blend it out, it turns brown, which is more of my concern, not so much the formula. Just because nothing ever comes in black, and I don't want brown eyebrows, I want black eyebrows, but I can't use eyeliner because it makes them feel really heavy. So I'm just picky about eyebrows, but this pencil is nice, and I like it. It's also $6 compared to the NYX I pay, and it comes with the same amount of product. So you saw me draw out my eyebrow shape. I'm just kind of cleaning it up a bit with this little e.l.f. concealer brush and some powder that matches the color of my skin tone. And then I'm putting on some brow powder that I always put on just to even make them look even more fake and dark. So that's just the look I go for. And then I'm taking the ABH Clear Brow Gel, and I mean, I don't look for much in a brow gel. It kept my hairs in place. I've been using it since then. Didn't feel weird or anything like that. And I recommend it, but there's also a good one from NYX I really like that's like $5-6. So I mean, just dusting away the bake. And now I'm using the Flower Beauty Contouring Sculpting Palette, and I got the deep kind of colors because I feel like the fair contour ones weren't gonna show up too much on me, and I like a pretty intense contour, even though I like blend it out to where you can't really see too much of it. And formula-wise, it was okay. It blended nicely. It wasn't too pigmented, but wasn't like not pigmented enough, just like the right amount of pigment. I mean, and it was a bit too warm, but I also got deep, so that was my fault. But like once I blended it blended out okay, and didn't look like orangey or anything on me. Even before I blended it out, it didn't look that orange, I guess. I don't know. And I'll probably use it again. I've kind of been using it here and there. Whenever I want like a darker, intense contour. Even though it's not even really that intense, but it works. I like it. It's not bad. Maybe if I get it again, I'll get the fair one because I've learned my lesson now and I need to stop trying to go deeper. Just because I want a darker contour, but all the darker stuff is more warm toned and I need the cool tone stuff because I like looking dead. And so you saw where I contoured my cheek, under my cheekbones, around my forehead, my jawline, and now I'm doing my nose. And then I blended it out with my big fluffy powder brush with no excess product on it at all. Just kind of blending it. I mean, I feel like it looks like my normal contour whenever it's all blended out, so I mean, eh. And then for the first time in probably on my channel, I've used blush, and I mean, it was okay, but I hate blush, so no matter what, I'm not gonna like it. And it just made me, I don't like blush. It makes me look sunburnt, and my face is red anyways without makeup, so I just hate it, can't stand it, never use it unless I'm like using it on my eyes or something or for a specific look. But I mean, formula-wise, it was probably okay. I didn't add a lot because, like I said, I hate blush. I added more contour because it looked too pink, and I'd rather it look brown. Then I'm using the Flower Beauty highlighting palette, and I'm taking the lighter champagne shade. and highlighting my face with like barely any product, but still blinding, and it's really good. It lasted all day. I didn't have to like touch it up or anything. It didn't rub off on anything. I didn't have to use a lot to build up the shiny. It didn't have a lot of like fallout or kickback. It's pigmented, and I used the pink shade a couple days ago, and I mean, I feel like it could have been a lighter base, but it wasn't horrible. Like, this shade is perfect for my skin tone, like the undertone of it. But the pink one, if I looked forward, I saw like a pink stripe, and it was weird. And then I used this Maybelline Lasting Fix setting spray. It was okay. I don't really use setting sprays, I feel like they don't do anything. But, I mean, it did its job, I guess. The sprayer could have been better, though. Then I used this Profusion Spectrum palette and Huda Beauty Desert Dusk. Both of them got 5 out of 5 for me because they're actually really good. And Desert Dusk has nice pigment, little no fallout, and it blended really well. And I used the brown shade on a big fluffy brush in my crease, just as a little transition shade, going in with the pink shade from Spectrum, and taking the kind of smaller fluffy brush to focus it more in my crease. And the Spectrum palette, I only used about 3 shades, but the pigment was really good. It blended well and it built up really nice. Like, you'll see when I build up this pink, it like builds up. It does not play. Like, look at how bright and neon that is. But it doesn't stay like that. It blends out really well, but it stays bright still. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm taking this kind of darker pink shade and keeping it deeper in my crease and just kind of slowly deepening the crease, I guess. And so I build it up and blend it out with the big fluffy brush I started out with. And then going back to the Huda Beauty palette, Huda. I'm taking this red burnt orange, this burnt red shade. There we go. And keeping it really deep into my crease, and then blending it out like I've done with the past 2 colors, just packing it on and then blending it out, but like lightly packing it on and kind of blending as I go. See, look, there's some blending. And then I'm taking the Too Faced Glitter Glue and making a cut crease shape on my eyelid and like winging it out, because I'm going to use the glitter shade. I couldn't help myself. And then I think it was whenever this palette came out, people hated the glitter shade because like it wouldn't stick to their eyes and stick to glitter glue. I don't know. Seems like a lot of people just find reasons to hate everything. But whatever. Like I said, I liked it. It was good. I also got it like half off because Sephora was having a sale. And if it wasn't half off, I probably wouldn't have gotten it, but not bad. I'm not mad that I got it. So I'm taking that glittery shade with the same brush I used to put the glitter glue on and packing it all over where I put the glitter glue. And I don't have anything bad to say about the glitter. It packed on okay. It didn't like flake off anywhere whenever I was trying to pack on top, like more glitter on top of glitter I already put on, like a lot of glitters do. So it stuck to my eye really well. I mean, some fell, but it's also just loose glitter basically, so I could just wipe it away with my big brush. And then once I finished that part, I took this CoverGirl liquid eyeshadow, I can't remember the shade, and put it in my crease. And I would put a base under it, or you're going to see like your skin through it. It didn't crease or transfer. It was nice and shiny and glittery, and it did good over the other shadows and that glitter, and it built up pretty well. I went over it a couple times to make sure you just see like the black gray line of glitter. Now this eyeliner was probably one of the worst eyeliners I've ever tried, liquid liners I've ever tried. It like It has a weird applicator, like one of those really skinny felt tip ones. I just don't like felt tip applicators. I like brush ones. I had to dip it back in the little container a lot because the applicator like dried out a lot. And it wasn't like super dark. I had to go through over it a lot. And it didn't go over the glitter well at all. Like it, since it didn't stay wet for that long, it wouldn't go over the glitter because I've realized that the eyeliners that stay wet or have like a lot of product on them go over glitter really well. And it just took me forever to work with it, and maybe it was because of the glitter, but I haven't tried it since. I actually gave it to someone already, so I wouldn't recommend this, but I mean, if you're probably just doing like a regular line or a little baby wing, it's probably okay. I just, not my favorite. I had to go over it a couple times to make it black too. And I actually ended up giving up on the other eye using my e.l.f. one. And so now I'm going back in with this purple shade from Desert Dusk and putting it on my lower lash line. I'm just kind of keeping a pop of purple on my lower lash line. And then I'm taking the purple from the Spectrum palette, doing the same thing, just to make it even more purple. And then I'm taking the same highlighter I used on my face and putting it on my inner corner and brow bone. And I tried to use it dry first. It wasn't building up as much as I wanted it to, so I sprayed it with my setting spray. And then it was as intense as I wanted it. So I would use it wet instead of dry, but it still works okay dry. I just like it really intense on my inner corner. And then I'm taking the CoverGirl Exhibitionist Mascara, and I really like this one. Like the brush is about the same as the Lash Paradise one, but the formula is better. It's very black. It covers all of my lashes, like the top and bottom. Doesn't transfer or smudge anywhere, and the formula isn't too dry or wet. It's like the perfect consistency. Doesn't make my lashes all clumpy. Can't remember if I said that or not, but I really like it, and it's probably going to be my go-to now. So I tried this just because I want to see if it really turned glitter. So I didn't wear it all day or anything. I wore it for like 5 minutes so it could dry while I put on my lashes, and then saw if it turned glitter. And you'll see if it does. And of course I'm out of frame when I put my lipstick on, like always. And now I'm putting on the Style Kiss lashes. And I've never used the Style, but I almost always use Kiss lashes because they're just the best drugstore lashes for me. I mean, you can tell they're fake, but they have like that nice fluffy look to them. Even the like $3 ones, I don't know what it is. They're just like my #1 favorite lash ever. And they're not the like most expensive ones. I think are like $9, and they're I don't know, and they're also not real mink, which I don't like using real mink lashes. I like using fake ones or silk ones because I just don't want an animal hair on my eye. It's also not cruelty free, so I mean. Then oh yeah, I showed how glittery it was already. You saw that when I was talking about lashes. Then I'm taking the Sephora brand lipstick. I can't remember the shade, but it was good, lasted long, lasted through some really oily food actually. And then there's the final look, and thank you for watching this whole 20-minute video. Probably, no, it's not the long, 2.5. So please go watch all my other videos and follow my social media and all of that. And I'll talk to you in the next one, not really see you, so bye!